welcome back. Let's get started on Chapter 3. These first few videos will be over the first 4.2 sections of Chapter 3, so sections 3.1 through 3.4.2. This chapter, the problem that they're hanging all of the learning off of is cryptography or secret writing, basically codes. How do we encode something and make it secret so that no one can read it and then decode it on the other end? So in order to do that, what we're really going to need to know how to do is work with strings. So section 3.2 is about the string data type. Let's dig in a little bit. A string is a data structure that allows us to represent the written word in our programs. So that's taken directly from the text. As is it's also a sequence of characters, such as letters of the alphabets and other symbols commonly used in writing. Essentially, anything you can type, all put together into one unit, that would be called a string. And we've seen strings before when we were doing printing and things like that. When we type those strings as what are called literals in our programs, we have to enclose them in either matching single quotes or matching double quotes. Okay, so either a tick and then your string and then an end single tick, or double quotes your string and double quotes. All right. Now, it's important to know that in Python, strings are objects, just like numbers and turtles are objects. So integers, floating points, complex numbers, even though we didn't do anything with complex numbers, those were all objects. And our collab turtle that we've generally been naming Gertrude was also an object. So like numbers, there are operators that we can apply to strings. And like the turtle in turtle graphics, but unlike numbers, strings have methods we can ask them to perform. So let's take a look at some of the operators first. We can concatenate strings, that is, stick them together using the plus sign operator. Now note that that means that the plus symbol is overloaded. It means different things depending on the context. So if I have two integers and I put a plus in between, that means do addition. If I have two strings and I put a plus in between, it means stick them together like glue. We can also do string repetition using the asterisk operator, which again then will be an overload on that. And so let's take a look at sessions 3.2 and 3.3 from the text and see how those might work. So if we take a look first here at session 3.1, this is just simple strings. So double quotes on this string literal on both sides, right? It just comes back with the string hello. I can also use single quotes for strings. Okay. I can have variables that are associated with objects. So this is a name for the object string over here, hello world. If I want to put a single quote inside a string, then I enclose the outside with double quotes. And likewise, if I want to put double quotes inside the string, I put single quotes on the outside. Okay, so now let's look at string concatenation. Here we go. We're sticking two strings together, and note that I do have to put in a blank space because the concatenation operator does not put a space in for me. It just glues the strings together immediately. And to illustrate that, here we go. I've set two variables, first name and last name, to John and Smith. If I concatenate those strings together, John Smith, right? No space. So if I want a space to be between those, I have to add one myself with concatenation. There we go. We can also do string repetition. So in this situation, hip times 2 means hip hip, hooray, right? There we go. And in this row row your boat function, we're going to do a little poetry, but we'll say row times 3 plus your boat. So row, row, row your boat gently down the stream, merrily 4 times, and I ain't going to do that, but 4 of those would be printed out, and then life is but a dream. So if we execute that statement or that function, it prints out the lyrics to that song. All right? Okay, the next piece then that we'll come back to is the idea of string indexing. And so that will be in the next video. We'll see you then.